Well, hi and welcome. Today we're at Virginia State University's Randolph Farm and we're going to be talking about blueberries. I'm here with Dr. Reza Rafi. He's an extension specialist, a specialist in small fruit. Can blueberries be a good crop for the home gardener?
Absolutely. Blueberry is one of the healthiest fruits, and we recommend for the homeowner to definitely to be able to grow them at home. But there are some challenges growing blueberries, and one of the probably most important challenge to be able to have the right pH. Blueberry does not grow in high pH, so therefore we need to reduce the pH of the soil, and that requires we use a lot of pine bark to be able to do that. One of the other challenges that we have, Chris, with growing blueberry is birds. Outside growing blueberries is just really very challenging because birds love blueberry for some reason. And then the other challenge that we have growing blueberry outside is the frost. If you have early varieties that they bloom probably mid to late April, you have those late April frosts that could completely wipe out the blooms, and that is one of the challenges that we have. In order to be able to reduce some of the challenges, we're going to go in there and show you a few examples of how to grow blueberries in containers and inside the tunnels.
Well, Reza, I see these beautiful blueberries here. What are you doing different now versus in the field?
Yeah, if you remember, we talked about the pH being one of the limiting factors growing it. If we grow them in containers and we prepare a substrate, the substrate that we prepare to grow blueberry in pots is nothing but pine bark, 80% pine bark and 20% peat moss. We mix that and we use what we call osmotic fertilizer. We use that as a slow release fertilizer, osmocote fertilizer, and we use that as fertilizer, slow release, and over time it provide nutrition to our blueberry plant. But quite simple. One of the other reasons that we think it's better to grow them inside in pots is definitely you can protect them against frost.
Okay.
Outside we don't have that much control, but indoor in the tunnel, you could roll up the curtains on the side and provide that protection. And the other thing, Chris, growing blueberry in pots indoor, it really much more effective for bird control. Definitely, right. Birds is a huge problem, and it allows us to protect that. The quality of the fruit also is improved when you have them inside, because you have full control in terms of the uniformity of the plants. It's just enormous, and the yield is as comparable to growing them outside. Fruit quality is much better. One thing which is really interesting, some of the varieties, if you grow them outside with too much rain, the fruit splits.
Okay.
But indoor you don't have that problem. You have full control.
So this cover really helps you. Now, if a grower doesn't have something like this, they could still do these containers outside.
Oh yeah.
If they've got a patio and they wanted to grow some.
Absolutely.
What size of containers are you using here?
The recommended size for commercial production is actually not more than 7 gallons.
Okay.
But what's really interesting is studies that are coming from other countries indicating that blueberry can be grown with no problem for 7 to 8 years.
Oh, wow.
With really good quality and really
that is
considerable yield.
That is great.
Production.
So a container, even outside on the patio, pruning it a little bit to make sure it doesn't get too big over the years, and this can be a great crop for somebody.
Absolutely. But one thing that the grower or the homeowner need to pay attention is when you have this plant outside in the field, you don't need to be worried about it as much about the water.
Okay.
During the heat of the summer, when you grow them in pots on regular basis, maybe sometime twice during the day, you need to give them a little bit of water. Okay. Otherwise you end up losing your...
Definitely something to think about there. Absolutely. Then. Water, make sure you do that. Well, great. Thank you so much, Reza, for letting us come and see all the blueberries that you're growing.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Well, for more information about blueberry production, contact your local county extension office and talk to a master gardener. From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.
From the Ground Up is presented with the generous advice and assistance of Virginia Cooperative Extension. Visit their website at ext.vt.edu.